What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/ChoosingBeggars. This story's called, "You have brand name clothes? Give me your couch for free!" No.
Pikachu? I'm confused and I'm Pikachu. Pika.
Some backstory first. My husband and I are going to be renting my parents' second house and hopefully buying it in the future. They were renting it out and the tenants basically destroyed it. We're talking ripping out walls, building new cabinets, tearing up carpets, the toilet even got removed, it was so bad. We have been putting our money and time into fixing this house for the past 3 weeks so far. My husband works full-time, so it's mostly me and my dad doing it while my mom watches our daughter and husband helps when he isn't working. On to today. My best friend hasn't seen the house yet, so I invited her over to hang out while I paint. My husband started talking about furniture he wanted to get rid of because the new house is a lot smaller than the one we're in now, and we also want some cash to get new furniture. He brought up a couch we have that's quite fancy. It's faux leather, has lights and speakers, reclines electronically, has charging ports, so you get the drift. It's an expensive couch. My friend asked how much we want for it, and my husband said we got it for free from his grandfather who worked at a furniture store because someone returned it and they couldn't sell it again. So anything would be good, really, to put towards new stuff. I know my friend doesn't have a great deal of money, neither do we, but we're better with our finances than her. This is important, it comes up again. And I said if it was to her, $50, because I don't like faux leather and I just want a gun, honestly. She agreed. I mean, who wouldn't? Then we went to get lunch at the servo. While we were there, she asked if I could buy her a packet of smokes and she'd pay me back next week. In Australia, a packet of smokes is around 35 Australian dollars for the cheapest where we live. I got them for her, and while we were waiting for the food, I told her about some new clothes I was getting and was excited about because I love these brands and they make me feel fancy. Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger. I bought them from an online outlet store where everything is between 50 to 80% off. She said, "This is why you never have any money and are always broke?" I kinda just gave her a "really?" look, as I just bought her smokes. On the way back in the car, she started saying how she should get the couch for free because if I have money to get those brands, I should have enough to get new furniture. I said, "Name, I'm giving you an at least $1,000 couch for $50. If I wasn't selling it to you, then I'd ask for half the price. If you don't want to pay for it, then I'll sell it." She got all huffy and brought up how her partner had bought us drinks last weekend while we were out, allowed in my state, and I said it's not the same because he did that, not her, and we didn't ask, he offered. She asked to buy the couch, and I gave her the lowest price because she's my friend. Well, now she's pissy, and I don't know if she's buying it or not. Who turns their nose up at $50 for a $1,000 couch because the owner bought brand-named clothes? Entitled people is who. The sheer audacity has me taken aback right now. Well, that's a little weird of her, but stay strong, stay righteous, and also donate to charity because you obviously can afford it. Like, look at you wearing Tommy Hilfiger and Calvin Klein. Why aren't you giving more money to charity? I'm joking, guys. Just slipping that in before y'all start sharpening the pitchforks. This story's called The Tragic Tale of the Cake Lady. I posted not too long ago about the woman who blew up at me for not getting a discount on a cracked cookie. At the time, that was the most dramatic choosing beggar incident I've ever had the displeasure of experiencing in person. I had thought it would remain that way. On Friday evening, I was proven woefully wrong. Several days before, we had gotten a call from a lady wanting to order a custom cake and cupcakes. My coworker Emma answered. It started out standard enough, but the lady quickly proved to be difficult. She had a million super complicated questions and got extremely aggravated at being put on hold so Emma could go get the answers. After about 45 minutes, she snapped, screaming into the phone that she was sick of this and demanded to speak to a supervisor, or at least someone who actually knows what the hell they're doing. Emma was holding back tears, but passed the phone to our manager. Our Our manager spent 2 freaking hours on the phone with this woman who continued to be a problem. She was extremely vague, telling my manager to just make it look nice and getting huffy when asked for specifics on what she actually wanted. My manager could tell something was up and insisted upon going over every little detail for confirmation with this woman. Finally, they settled on a design. The order was placed, and for about a week, that was that. Friday night, 15 minutes before we close, over 5 hours after her scheduled pickup time, mind you, the lady from the phone walks in. She looked surprisingly normal, apart from the glare in her eyes, and we went to go retrieve her order. As I'm certain you all guessed by now, she had complaints. Many complaints. The shade of blue on the cupcakes was wrong, the frosting edges weren't smooth, the centerpiece on the cake was in the center when she'd wanted it slightly off-center, she wanted the entire cake dyed pink, not just the frosting, blah 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 blah. Basically, everything was wrong. Even though everything was exactly what she'd agreed upon at the time, my manager had made sure of it, and this was an outrage. She wanted her money back. My manager wasn't there at the time. The owner, however, was. She called the manager and went over everything again. The manager confirming that yes, everything was what they'd agreed on, and this lady was blatantly false in claiming otherwise. Here's where you probably expect a victory, a glorious telling off of the choosing beggar who leaves in a rage as the employees all celebrate. The evil defeated. I know, I certainly did. I mean, I wasn't actually expecting the owner to take this lady down or anything. I kept my expectations realistic, but the owner had said before that this business took great pride in not allowing its employees to be mistreated and would refuse to do business with abusive people. This lady fit that description to a T, so I thought that the owner would refuse her demands and tell her to go away, as I had been told was the way we did things. No. Instead, I watched with a dismayed sort of disgust as the owner gave this bimbo a $50 refund and apologized for it not having been what she wanted. Never mind the fact that we all knew that she was lying. Never mind the fact that she'd been absolutely horrible to the employees, which was supposed to be a big no-no. Never mind the fact that this was clearly exactly what she wanted this entire time. I know it's naive of me, but I honestly felt a bit betrayed, I suppose. I'd been promised that this place wasn't like others, that the employees were valued and would be defended, that butthole customers were not welcome and would not be tolerated, and that I could do nothing but stand there and watch as a woman who'd left my coworker in tears and made all our lives a collective hell was rewarded for her behavior. She's going to do it again. If not to us, then to some other poor workers, because my boss just effectively reinforced that being a colossal bimbo is how to get what she wants. I know people here like to have happy or triumphant endings, but there isn't one. This lady was a huge choosing beggar, nitpicked everything, made unrealistic demands, demanded it for a ridiculous discount, and got what she wanted. And I'm just furious. I know some will say this doesn't count as a choosing beggar, and maybe not, but I thought it fit the parameters and needed to get it off my chest. What a ridiculous freaking owner, stupid-headed owner. Freaking, you're gonna kill everything in the entire planet with what you just did, basically. I mean, at this point, the world being overrun by Karens is the destruction of the world to me. But it's pretty profitable. Alright, this story's called Rant. I am so tired of people asking me to draw paint things for them. I am not a professional artist. I have a good job with great pay, and I don't need additional sources of income to have a comfortable life. That being said, begin Rant. I am a hobbyist artist. I am in no way amazing, but I do churn out some pretty decent stuff. I've been getting into portraits and pop art style paintings for a few months now. I suck at preserving my paintings, so I often send them out as cards to close friends for holidays for absolutely no money. I love doing this, and those who receive them are always incredibly grateful, and some of them have even framed the stuff I sent them. I often post progress shots of the work I do on my Instagram. I get tons of people replying to them, appreciating it, and telling me that I should start selling them for money. And then there are people I barely even know that ask me if I would be willing to draw them, classic, or something for them. I generally treat these messages as appreciation for the work I do, and thank them for their appreciation and politely decline as I don't do commissions. Most of them shrug and say, fine, and then say something along the lines of, I wasn't asking about a commission, just a request. You send your art for free to people anyway, I figured you could do this for me. First of all, 1. They are my friends. I don't even know you. 2. They didn't ask me for a specific thing. I sent them something random I chose to draw. A couple of days back, a dude I was friends with in high school reached out to me asking if I was willing to draw a pop art style portrait for him and his boyfriend as they were getting married and wanted something funky on their invitation cards. Pride theme. I declined. They offered to pay me for my work. Since he used to be a good friend, I asked him what he had in mind. These were his requirements. 1. The colors I use are rainbow themed. Easy enough. 2. It has to be A3 in size. I generally work on A5, so A3 is massive in comparison, but okay. 3. I need to use light fast paints as they will frame it for their living room. I use cheap paints as it's just a hobby. Artist quality ones are pretty expensive where I live, and the cheap paints won't age well, so this will require me to get good archival paints. 4. The reference picture is him and his boyfriend kissing in front of a floral motif wall. They're wearing clothing with extremely intricate embroidery. It's a beautiful picture, but there's a lot of detail, and he wanted most of them, if not all, captured in the painting. The paintings I do in comparison are very simple with blocks of colors. With all these in mind, I figured that this would be an artistic challenge for me since I have never done commissioned work, and since this kind of stuff is not really my style, I am hesitant to charge for something that might not be great in the end. So I tell the dude that I am willing to do it with these conditions. 1. They pay me $5 advance. 2. Once I'm done with the painting, I'll send them a picture of the final work. If they like it, they can pay me the rest of the amount plus shipping and I'll send it to them. 3. If what I made was not what they had in mind, they don't need to pay me anything. I won't sell the painting to anyone since it is their photo and just treat it like practice. He tells me that point number 3 makes no sense since they'd have paid me $5 for it and they wouldn't have anything with them. He insisted that I mail the painting no matter what and he'd only pay me if they liked it. I said that the $5 is the compensation for the hours and hours of work I'll be putting into what they asked me, and also the included cost of the materials that I'll need to buy. Way more than $5, but it's not like I'll use all of it in one painting, so whatever.
Yes, but that advance is for the actual product, not labor.
Look, I'm not a professional artist, so if you want a sure thing, you should probably reach out to one. The stuff you ask is not my style, and I don't want to charge you for something that isn't good. But the $5 is for my effort. Plus, $5 is literally nothing compared to what you'd normally pay.
Well, I asked you because I have full confidence in your ability. Okay, let's table this for later. If you end up making a good one, how much will you want the painting for?
Let's see. $50 should be good.
So $45 including the advance.
No, $50 more.
That's too much.
Well, I'd have spent close to 50 hours on that, so I think it's fair enough.
You aren't even professional. You can't demand that much.
Well, it's fine if you want to ask someone else. I don't care.
I like your art style. I wanted you to do it.
How much were you willing to pay?
Tell you what, I'll give you $5 advance and another $5 for the painting and shipping.
Artist quality paints will cost me $30 to $40.
Well, if you made a messed up painting, you'd get no money in the end, according to your own conditions.
That's fine. I'll treat it as practice. I would have dug my own grave, and that's not on you.
So why don't you practice, then send the finished painting to me for just shipping extra?
No.
You make no sense.
Perhaps, but you're also asking professional level art for $5. I'm sorry, I do this as a hobby, and spending hours to make something perfect for $5 is just not worth it. I work full-time as well. It's not gonna happen. I am charging way less than an actual artist would charge as well.
You earn more than I do. You don't need this money. We were friends in school, and I was gonna invite you to our wedding. Can't you make this our wedding gift?
No.
Well, F you then.
Dude then went on to rant about this in an Instagram story. Lied that I'd asked close to $300, tagged me, and then said that no one should approach me for any requests because I'm an unreasonable, entitled bimbo with crappy artwork. Maybe my conditions don't make sense. I was viewing this as an improvement opportunity plus some extra cash, but clearly I was too entitled. I'm so tired of people reaching out to professional or hobbyist artists with requests and offering little to no pay for their effort. This is not how it works. My heart weeps for professional artists who rely on their art for income, who have to wade through a bunch of folks like this for every legit request. That's bonkers, man. Art is hard, especially portraits. You know, stick figures are peak portraiture for me. See, I'm making up words because I'm entitled to, as someone who's really good at stick figures. Alrighty, this story is called Sorry, We Prefer a Bigger Free Thing. I managed a locally owned store. We get a lot of requests for donations for school and charitable fundraisers, auctions, etc. So many that we have made it a policy to only give gift certificates, usually for $25. Had someone call last week for a donation. I told her what we would give her, and she said, "Well, we usually prefer a larger donation." I quickly replied in my cheeriest voice, "Gosh, sorry, we won't be able to help you then. Bye," and hung up as fast as I could so she couldn't change her mind. Look a gift horse in the mouth, you get nothing. Wow, amazing. I'm so happy that one less charity got one less donation. You sick person. I'm kidding. Charity, you're a jerk. You should always accept donations, no matter how small. Fill your storage room with pennies.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.